Okay, so I like to call this Real People, Real Healing. This is a platform we use called Docstar TV. And so we have Debbie and we have Dina, and they are master practitioner trainers, and they are out of Stuart, Florida. And yeah, they're amazing. So let's find out. Who are you with today?
My name is Lene.
Lene, how are you doing, Lene?
I'm doing okay right now. How are you?
Do you see what, did anybody notice that? I'm doing okay right now. How are you? But in the next minute, I could be doing really rough. So right away, you know what? You see how everything becomes a program? I'm not going to get too confident and just tell you I'm doing great. I'm doing okay right now. But in a minute from now, I could just lose it. All your words matter. If you want a different story, tell a different story. And remember something, your stories actually create every disease you have. All your illnesses are caused from your personality, and your personality is not really yours. It's just a bunch of belief systems that came together. One here, one here, one here, one here. You put them together, you got a core belief system, becomes your personality. When you get rid of a belief system, you just changed parts of your personality, didn't you? Now you've got a new personality. If you bring in a different belief system and you get rid of one, did you change your personality? You must always be working to try to change your personality, or you'll never get rid of the dis-ease, which means that you're out of alignment with being in an alignment, because if you feed your spirit, you heal your body. If you don't feed your spirit, you don't heal your body. Most people don't understand that. And it all depends on their background, right? Okay? All right, so Lene, what's going on?
So I've been suffering with, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. I've been suffering with Chrones since I was 13, and I'm 21 now, so when I got diagnosed, I was 13.
Okay, so can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, around the age, I could be off, but around the age of 11, drama in her life. Tons of stress. Tons of stress. Crohn's disease is not caused from a diet thing. A diet thing will trigger it, but we could find a million 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-olds that had worse diets than hers.
Right.
Okay? But she could not address emotional stress that was going on in her family. And she swallowed it. Where did she store it? In the small intestine. You could store it in your joints and it's called arthritis. Store it in your nose and it's called sinusitis. Store it in your bowels and it could be called colitis. Store it in your small intestine, because most Crohn's happens in small intestine. Some people say it's in the large intestine, but understand, Crohn's disease is called lead pipe disease. And what it is, it's actually you're eating holes through your intestine, and it's being replaced with scar tissue, and that's why they call it lead pipe. Okay? Go ahead, Lene.
So after I was diagnosed, I went several years with, I would say minimal pain, but then around the age of 19 through 21 is when I developed the fistulas, the stricture, where my pain got really debilitating. I had really severe abdominal pain.
Okay, you got to slow it down. We're just going to take one thing at a time, okay?
Okay.
So she said that she had a fistula and a stricture. The stricture came first. The abdominal pain came first. She actually had the abdominal pain before she had the fistula. She actually had the stricture before she had the fistula. A fistula is where you have such a toxic turd that creates bad bacteria called endotoxin. And between the turd and the bacteria, they eat a hole through your large intestine. And with most times, you're pooping into your vagina. Where's your fistula going?
I think I might have a couple fistulas, but they're near my ileum, if you know where that is, on the lower right side.
Okay, so it's going from your large intestine into your ileum?
I don't know exactly.
Or it's going from your ileum into your pelvis?
I'm not exactly sure. They just said it was in the ileum, and then the stricture is in the colon.
Okay, so just know this: the stricture, a stricture is scar tissue. We can go in and take that apart right away, and you can open that up by just doing non-surgical. Okay, and the fistulas, which are a hole through the ileum, okay, and they call it ileitis. All right, that can be healed. Now, are you on medication? Your face looks like you're on medication, like cortisone.
Yeah. I've been on 2 steroids for like 8 months, and
Okay, yeah. Well, see, that's why she has no cheeks and no jaw. Okay, she's just a little bit of puffball. She's a pretty puffball. But the reality is that those 2 drugs, you have to retain water, and that's why she's putting on weight and blowing up. They're very acidic, so you have to retain water because they're creating inflammation. And when you create inflammation, the first few letters are inflamed. So what do you have to do when you've got a flame? And what do you do when you have a fire? You call in what? The fire truck. And you got to water it down. So guess what? She's going to get water first. And then if she stays on these drugs long enough, she's going to become fat. And then she's going to get lots of cellulite to store all the infection and inflammation in to try to save her life. So anyways, how much do you like dairy?
I like cheese.
That's right. And guess what? What is the main cause of Crohn's disease on food? Cheese. Cheese. And she's had it since she's 13. And what age are you?
21.
Oh, no. Doctors aren't morons. No, natural practitioners aren't morons. They've got moronic thoughts. The main thing that's blowing her up is cheese. And do you know why we like cheese so much? Because we actually become addicted to cheese like we do cocaine. There's actually an ingredient in there. And you know what? When you crave a glass of milk, when you crave cheese, that's your brain addicted to it, not you needing it. There's no intelligence here. None. When you get off the nipple, you're off the nipple. But we got to go and look for a new nipple. So what do? We go find a cow. Why do we drink cow's milk? Because the udders are the biggest. We can make more money. Monkey milk is closer. So guess what? Lene, I need you to go milk a monkey. It's more logical to do that than drink cow's milk. Are you guys frozen? Are you there? They're just not moving and they're not saying anything. They're just like this. Okay, so here's the deal. Cow's milk, 20 times larger than mother's milk, the molecule. Next thing, 7 to 10 days after you stop breastfeeding, you stop making enzymes for mammal milk. Mammal milk. Not coconut milk, not oat milk, but mammal milk. So we're not awake, because if Lene was awake, she'd know that when she ate the cheese today, that she had cramps tomorrow. She knows that she was bloated. She knows she has a slight headache. No relationship to it, because nobody's been taught about food. Nobody's been taught about food and the reactions of it. And she can't break it down. What blood type are you, Lene?
I believe it's O.
O? Okay, usually, you could have been an A and that could really show it. So O's have a more higher, stronger hydrochloric acid. But here's the deal. Being an A type, which I am, if I eat something, I'll feel it right away. Okay? And that's why A's are very sensitive. And the O's, which most people are, and the O's are cave people, they could eat the butt out of a rhino on the run. And because their hydrochloric acid is stronger. But then what happens is the O's wake up and go, oh my God, I didn't feel a thing. And I went to the doctor and he said, I've got a tumor and it's 7 pounds and it's sitting in my abdomen. Whereas an A will feel nauseous and sick or have a headache. So that I just want you to know the difference. So the reality is O's can digest animal protein better than A's or AB or B's, but the reality is, guess what? It doesn't mean they should have animal protein. And you eat meat? Can you hear me?
Now we can. Now you froze for a second, but you're back.
Go to where the internet is strong then.
Oh no, we're fine, but it was just you're good.
Okay, then did you hear me?
We didn't hear the question, no.
Does Lene eat meat? Animal meat?
Yeah, I eat a lot of chicken.
You eat a lot of chicken. Well, guess what? Between the chicken and the cheese, her life's over. Her life's gone. I'm telling you, it's gone. Do you eat bread?
Like gluten-free bread sometimes.
Oh, you mean you eat cardboard? Gluten-free bread is cardboard. Okay? We need whole grains, not bread. Bread's dead. And gluten-free bread still turns into sugar so quickly. It's more processed than bread, isn't it? If she ate an organic, okay, really high quality ancient grain bread, she'd have no trouble. But, seeing that we're all commercialized, she's eating gluten bread, which is very expensive, and it will light Crohn's disease on fire because it's one step below sugar. How am I doing, Lene?
You're a spot on.
Lene, how many dead animals do you need to eat to get well? How many chickens do you need to eat that are only 6 weeks old and they were supposed to take 6 months to grow up? And they're so full of antibiotics that are going in and destroying your good bacteria in your immune system. Because Lene, I know that if you're eating a lot of chicken, you're not buying organic. And guess what? Does anybody know where 80% of all the antibiotics go in this country? Into the chickens, into the pigs, and into the meat. So Lene eats animal products every day. Between the cheese, between the chicken, between the red meat, and guess what? That means that if you eat animal products every day, you take as much antibiotics in as if you did a round of antibiotics for 7 to 10 days from your doctor. That's what it accumulates in 30 days. Lene, you can kiss your ass goodbye because you're gone. You're not. Enjoy 21 because by the time you're 30, you will have created a new personality of pain and suffering, no energy, okay, and not fun to be with, okay? So you need to find a guy that wants to fix someone, even though he'll never be able to fix you, because he needs that challenge, because he wants to be a hero. Because, listen, Crohn's disease people, no fun to be with. Because once they have an attack, it's painful. They're not fun to be with. Who wants to marry someone who's no fun to be with? Who wants to marry someone that's in pain all the time? Who wants to be in pain and not be fun to be with? Look at how many times, Lene, that you've had to give up going and doing things that your friends went and did since you were 13. And then you were told that you'll probably never be well again. You need to stay on these drugs. Don't tell me you weren't told that. Your parents don't know how to heal you. The doctors you go, they say it has nothing to do with diet. It has nothing to do with emotions. It's got to do with genetics. And that's the biggest lie. It's epigenetics. Lene is a very beautiful, tender person who doesn't know how to process stress. And when she was 13 and she was diagnosed with this, her family, her parents did not know what calm was. They were fighting, they were stressed, there was stuff going on. Maybe Lene's parents were divorcing at that time. Or maybe they thought they were going to become divorced. And Lene thought, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. So what do you do when it's your fault? You try to kill yourself. Best way to do is eat holes through yourself, right? How are we doing, Lane? How are we doing?
My parents are divorced. So
When did they divorce?
and it was right. And they divorced when I was 6, but I went back and forth to my dad on the weekends, and they were in contact, and they did argue throughout the years.
Okay, so
her father was very critical of her mother and her.
yeah. Okay. So guess what happens when you are never going to be good enough for your father and you're the daughter? So you suffered for your mother, and your mother, she had all kinds of stomach problems. And guess what? And what do you do when somebody has stomach problems? What do you do when somebody has a disease in the family? You take on the same disease because you take on the suffering. Just know this, Lene. Every little bit of suffering that you did for your mother and father was not appreciated. And every little bit of suffering that you're going to do for your family and for the people that you love is not going to be appreciated. Okay? You are depreciated. And this is because, Lene, you need to put a higher value on what you're worth. Did you ever know, Lene, that it's very easy for you to suffer for other people and feel sorry for them? Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, I'm very empathetic towards everybody.
Yeah. Can I say something? Don't take it wrong, but you can kiss your ass goodbye. Because every time you do that, you end up having an attack. Every time you do that, you drain yourself and you set yourself up for an atomic bomb explosion. How's that working for you, Lene?
Not good with all the pain I've been having.
Yeah, but guess what? At least guess what? You're showing your family that you will suffer for them even if it kills you. Now, there's a daughter that everybody would want if they were dysfunctional. If they were dysfunctional. And guess what? Whoever suffers the most in the family loves the most in the family. That's the world we live in. Are you a single child?
I'm my mom's only child.
You definitely act like it. You've got a cross on your back. And every day you get the ladder and you climb up on the ladder and you nail yourself in for your mother. How's that working? Have you healed her yet?
Nope.
When are you going to mind your own business?
I have to learn that.
Holy crap, you're so beautiful. And you know what? What religion are you?
Christian.
Oh, you're going to have trouble then. I told you used to get the ladder and the cross and climb up and nail yourself in, didn't I?
Yeah.
Do you know what I am? I was raised born again Christian. And I learned a lot of beautiful things, but I had to give up parts of it or else I wouldn't be here teaching right now unconditional love. Because Christians can say they have unconditional love, but they don't. And they don't for themselves. At least the ones I've met. I'm sure there's some of them out there. But the reality is this. You better learn how to honor, love, and respect yourself. Or you're not going to make it. So believe that you're unworthy. Or believe that you're worthy. And that healing is a mindset. Is you changing your mind. You need to change your mind. If you don't change your mind and the way you think, then this isn't going to change. We could do a whole bunch of things with you, but if you'll just revert back to whatever your personality is. Unless your personality changes, nothing changes. That's it. That's it. So you eat what we call a really good diet. And everybody eats a really good diet. Okay? That's why 60% of the population will suffer from stage 4 inflammation or cancer. That's why, okay? Are you ready for this? That's why 86 to 90% of the population, depending what state or province you go in North America, has an autoimmune disease. You do understand that's like 9 out of 10 people have an autoimmune disease now? You do know that 64% of all children have a chronic illness. The reality is the diet you have is going to destroy you. That when people say to you, do you have a good diet? You know what you'd say, Lene? Yeah, I do. Because you compared yourself to everyone else that has the same diet that's complaining of problems, not the same as yours, because their personality is different. Do you get that? Yeah. So, do you believe that you got this illness because of lack of drugs?
I started to believe that my illness progressed because I wasn't doing anything about it, and it wasn't being treated either pharmaceutically or holistically either. Just did nothing for several years, and then it started progressing.
I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that the Crohn's disease will be healed by drugs?
No, I just believe it can mask the symptoms.
So, well, good, but do you know that even when you don't feel the pain, the tissue's still rotting? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, as long as you know that. Know that as long as you take the drugs, you'll be rotting out and not even know it.
That's what you're here for.
So, you know what? I get it. There's times when we feel like we need to take painkillers. Okay? Anti-inflammatories. But get addicted to them because you're going to have to take more drugs. Then guess what? You've got a disease that's called lead pipe, so they're going to have to go in there and they're going to eventually have to start cutting pieces of your intestine out. You know, the best thing a person could do is get on a perfect day diet and then do the 6-day advanced water fast. And by the time she does a perfect day diet for, let's say, 2 weeks to a month, does a 6-day advanced water fast, by the time she does 1 to 3 of them, she doesn't even have Crohn's disease anymore. It's gone. Do you know how many people that we have guided with Crohn's disease that were already booked for their surgery and they never went?
I did not know that.
Thousands, not hundreds, thousands. You have to remember that I opened up the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy, okay, when I was 25 years old. When I was 32, my manual was used by the United States Senate for the study of colon cancer. So I've had my head up there for a while. So understand, I know what I'm talking about. There is no doctor that will ever sit across from me and debate me. Because the logic, they have no logic. I have all of it. So keep on doing the dairy, keep on doing the meat, you can't do anything. You can't do alcohol now. You know, you've got a bridge, and that bridge needs to be restored. And whether you believe it or not, 1 piece of gluten bread will throw you off. Okay? 1 piece of cheese will throw you off. It'll take you down. Right now, unless you love, honor, and respect, and you go on a really beautiful healing diet, and you're willing to do that for anywhere, you know, it will take about 6 weeks to 3 months. She's symptom-free. But guess what? She will never stay symptom-free because what actually caused her situation wasn't a physical problem. It was emotional suppression. I'm not good enough for daddy, either is mommy. Anything you want to say, Lene?
I was gonna say that the less I eat, the better I feel. That when I wake up in the morning, I'm the least bloated and I feel the best. And as I eat throughout the day, I feel worse.
Okay, here's the deal. She's eating all the wrong things all day. So now, guess what? You're malnourished. You're malnourished. You're not getting nourishment. If you were to do beautiful blender drinks, leafy salads, not broccoli, cauliflower, too hard a fiber that irritates, you'll turn this all around. You're either going to love, honor, and respect yourself because you've got addictions. And your subconscious is addicted to these foods. And, Lene, you're addicted to suffering. You're addicted to it.
Spot on.
Yeah. So you know
I
what?
explained about the frenemy, Doc. The
What?
Frenemy.
What?
I explained about the frenemy after you have this disease for 9 months.
You're
you know,
used to it.
You're used to it, and you get all the attention. Mommy's there, the boyfriend's there. You're having a pain. You're in bed. You can't get a job. You can only nanny, and at your convenience. So you got all these beautiful people catering to you.
Well, when your father basically disowned you emotionally, somebody's got to pick that up, because your father, you've got your heart. Mommy takes up this much, daddy takes up this much, this takes up this much. Who's going to do that? Who's going to replace my daddy? Whereas if we were to teach our children to fill up their own heart with love, because if you want to be thankful, you got to be thankful. You don't rely on anybody to get into your heart. You allow them into your life. You allow them to shine their light on you. You shine your light on them. I would never make anybody in my family responsible for filling up any of my heart, because, Lene, the rate you're going, you'll have heart disease, because heart disease is caused because of broken hearts, empty hearts. My heart's in pieces. And that's it.
I'll tell you.
I have it's pretty minor, but I have mitral valves prolapse. If you know what
Oh,
that is.
please, stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop, you little attention seeker. Why don't you just shine your light? You're so beautiful, and I can tell you're highly intelligent. So please don't act like you don't know. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for what the majority does. Prolapse my butt, will you? You don't have that. Do you actually believe when people tell you this stuff? And do you actually believe that tissue doesn't grow back, valves won't grow back, bones won't grow back? Do you really believe this? And you know what? You hate yourself. Down deep inside, you have a hate for yourself. You are so ready to be chopped up and sold off by the pound. What do I need to do to get my mother and father back together? Now, that's not frontal thought. It's way back here. If I'm sick enough, they will stop fighting and come back together, and I'll have my family. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. Except don't become the sacrificial lamb, because nobody even knows what you're up to.
I agree with that.
Speak up.
I said I agree with that.
It's a good thing, because I was going to hang up.
So, Doc, when can we do non-surgical on her?
Yesterday. So what you're going to do?
Yesterday?
Yeah, you're going to go into her abdomen. If she'll do the cell sonic, do the cell sonic at 4.
Okay.
But you can go into her abdomen and you can loosen up everything. Just loosen it up.
Okay.
And then guess what? She goes, oh my God, I feel so much better. Yeah, because we just untied the knots. We just pulled the adhesions together that were creating the lead pipe disease. So I would do that. And understand something. Her pelvis, like her lower pelvis, okay, it's a mess. She's been pooping in her pelvis. So gently go in. What?
I'm sorry, my lower abdomen area, it's funny you say that, because it feels like matted, like it's really
Oh, no. You've already got endometriosis. You just weren't actually diagnosed with it. You can't poop in your pelvis. My God, you got holes in your intestine. You're pooping in your pelvis. Infection creates inflammation. Inflammation causes scar tissue formation. You know what? Your whole vaginal area in your pelvis look like spider webs. And that's the scar tissue, okay, from dehydration, because your tissue's being dehydrated from the inflammation. And the scar tissue is coming to try to block all the toxins that are coming in because you got holes in you. Yeah. So you know what? Infertility, ovarian cysts, ovarian cancer, stage 4 inflammation, that's all that is. Thickening of the uterus, okay? Bladder infections, painful lovemaking, painful periods. Oh yeah, you've got a big party coming for you, okay?
So they say that she has a bunch of poop stuck above her stricture.
Like, they said in the CT scan there was a stool present throughout my colon that was just sitting there.
Wow. I would have never guessed. Hey, listen. Can you hold on? I just want to make a cheese sandwich. Sticky, glicky food, sticky, glicky poop. You don't drink enough water. You don't drink structured water. What are you, a coffee drinker?
No.
What are you? You don't drink at all?
I used to drink juice, but now I drink water, but not enough water.
Not enough water. Yeah, like 2 glasses a day.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and that's 24 ounces, which keeps a 48-pound child alive. Okay? And if somebody your size, you're just going to become beef jerky. Not trying to pick on you, because why would you do any different than everyone else? And somebody like you, you're $1 million project for Big Pharma. They're not going to let you go. I guarantee you they call you and say, when you're coming in for your checkup.
For surgery.
Yeah. You do know why they call us you do know why they call the majority the herd, right? Because they're off to the butcher.
Like sheep.
Hang on, Doc. We just lost you for 1 second. Hang on. How did that go?
You just need to put your password in.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right, we're back. Oh, what happened?
Be careful. Fix the button.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
Hi. How's it going?
Okay, so she's gonna do.
You went and made a cheese sandwich, didn't you?
No, not cheese.
She did listen to us. We requested she starts juicing and doing blender drinks 2 days ago, and she has started doing that. And now we're here with you, and we're having a consultation with her, and she's ready to take this on.
I know you are. And listen, Lene, the only drug you need is self-love. That's it. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going pretty good. He cares about me and he does a lot for me, but I do neglect myself a lot because I'm always trying to make other people around me happy. So I do know that I lack the self-love. I just don't know how to.
Well, just the thing is that you're trying. What you've got is you've got 911 emergency going on, and even though there's no emergency, that's the main program that got instilled when you were young, right? I have to save the family, even if it means my health. So now we go around trying to save things that are none of our business. How's that working? Huh?
I definitely try to save other people before I try to save myself.
Yeah, and they're getting annoyed. Did you ever notice something, Lene? Nobody wants to be saved. If you were to take all that energy and turn it into self-love and self-care, you'll heal overnight. Your symptoms will... I know, but think about the way when you're alone with yourself, what are your thoughts, Lene?
My thoughts are always consumed around my pain and what's going to happen in the future. It's always an unsettling, anxious state of mind that I'm in. Or insecurity, people pleasing.
They're gonna teach you how to do the couples connection with your boyfriend, and then they're gonna teach you how to do the Lionheart breathing and the mirror work with yourself, and get a love band, life band on. Those simple things right there, if you practice those and you put your heart into it for 9 months, you won't even know yourself. You won't have this fear anymore, Remember something, the brain only runs programs, it doesn't actually think. So you better take massive personal action at creating new programs, okay? Who do you live with?
My mom and my boyfriend. We live at my mom's house.
Just know that if they don't change their diet to yours, they're in trouble. And just know that. But people don't change their diet until they're in trouble. Because we all are addicts. I'm an addict. Did you know I'm an addict? I'm an addict to self-love and self-care. I'm an addict to holding the line. I'm an addict to never judging anyone, just observing and then trying to support them if they actually ask for my help. I'm not going in unless they do. You'll realize this by the time you're 40 or 50 when you're exhausted and bloated and you look like a fat pig. Because you will be taking on so much that you can't deal with and you'll suppress it. You'll be retaining water. You'll blow up. You'll be creating fat cells to store the inflammation and the infection and the emotion. Unless you're going to love yourself and care for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And I didn't mean to call you a fat pig. I just felt that you'll feel bloated like that, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I apologize. Didn't want you
So
to...
right now, her belly is really speaking to us a lot.
Every day around the stricture area, my stomach makes really loud, like roaring sounds and gurgling. I guess trying to pass the food through the stricture.
No. It's actually signaling you and asking you when you're going to come and love it. If they were to go near the stricture and lovingly go in there right now and work there for 10 to 15 minutes, guess what? You'd hear no noises.
Yeah, and it's making space by doing that, I believe.
Well,
So she's going to do 2 warm water enemas a day.
With black diamond, or black gold, the warm water enemas twice a day. And I would be using black diamond because it'll go and infiltrate the actual fistulas. It'll go right in. And it'll hold more of the acid to bring out. Okay?
Okay, if we're going to get her to do the belly button therapy.
Yeah.
Should she go right over the stricture with the belly button?
No, just do the belly button.
Okay, just do the belly button.
Just do the belly button. And with the stricture, I just want you to go in there and I want you to work her whole abdominal area and I want you to go get the diagram of, and I want you to map it out where you feel the strictures are. And then as she comes in, try to find them. And when you can't find them, she's going to say, yes, I'm symptom free. Okay.
And as far as her clapping, where do you want her to clap?
I want her to clap her neck, her face, and her head every night for 45 minutes. And why? Huh? Well, yeah, but I want you to crack your coconut and stop your monkey mind. You jump from branch to branch. When you don't have this to worry about, you go and jump over here. Oh, I forgot I had that worry. I'll go over there now. And then if that's not working, you go to a new one.
Yeah, that's me.
That's the only way you keep Crohn's disease alive. That's how you feed it. Like Dina was saying, it's become a friend. Boy, it's with me all day. It takes up my day. Your subconscious goes, listen, it gives you lots of attention. It keeps your mind off your parents.
She doesn't want to travel anymore because, again, the fear of
Something happening.
The fear of something.
Oh, but we don't need to worry about that. If she actually follows the lead of the two of you, in 3 months she's healed, and then she's going to go, what am I going to do with all this time? Now I'm going to have to go out and get my passion and purpose. Now I got to find my BraveHeart feminine courage. Now I can start living my life. And then she'll go.
Coming to train with us.
What?
She's a future BraveHeart. She's studying nutrition.
Yes,
She's well aware of a lot of good things in the IRL.
Well, how is she studying nutrition? Because one second. Most people study nutrition and it's not actually nutrition.
True. That's why.
No. Nutrition is what? The first nutrition is what? It's invisible. It's invisible. There is only one nutrition, and that is light and frequency. It's called vibration and frequency. Frequency is the only nutrition. All you have to do is look at whatever you drink, what you eat, what you think, what you do, is how high is that in vibration? How much light does it hold? Don't A, B, C, D me. And understand something. Vitamins are not nutrition. Minerals are the first thing in nutrition. And they don't teach that. Without minerals, the vitamins don't work. And the reality is nutrition is based on what? Structured water, enzymes, fiber, minerals, and how fresh everything is. How light everybody is. You don't go around hanging around with miserable people, do you? Well, yeah, of course we do. It helps to verify that our life is better. Let me tell you something. You are the 5 people you hang around with the most, so check them out. Okay? And everything is based on light and frequency. Everything you eat and drink leaves the body. So it depends on the vibration that it holds. Nothing else. Nothing else. So nutrition, my butt. Okay? Because guess what? I will promise you that in these 9 days that you guys will know more about true nutrition than any dietitian or anybody who took a course in nutrition in university for 2 years. Oh, they can outdo you when it comes to trying to test you with all the A, B, C, D, E, S, and stuff. All the different stuff like that. And where's this and what's that? But it's not how much information you have. It's how much truth you hold. I call BS. Most people say I'm studying nutrition. I call BS. Most people say they're natural health practitioners. I call BS. Most people say that they're whole life coaches. Really? Really? You're a whole life coach? I'm scared for the world. Okay? And you know what? I'm only observing, but the reality is, guess what? If everybody was doing so well and every course was doing so good out there, and seeing that there's 10 times more natural health therapists than there is medical, why is the world going downhill? Because nobody's holding the line, and because we're studying the wrong thing. There, I'm off on a tangent. Now I'm back. But understand something. Let's be perfectly clear. Most people are so distracted and they're trying to impress everyone. Understand, there's only one food group, and that's called frequency. There is nothing else. All right. Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
We're good.
So what else should she be taking?
All right.
I already have it written.
Perfect.
So,
Any other questions?
okay, Doc, any other questions, Lene?
So after the few month period, what does your diet look like? Can you go back to eating any certain way, or is it like the 80-20?
I think it's really important that you go back to eating.
Yes.
We're all addicts, and that was your subconscious answering the question. Would you like to have a pain-free body with unbelievable energy, or would you like to compromise and let go a lot of that energy and have a body like 99.9% of the population? What would you like?
I'd rather be pain-free.
Let me try this with you. Okay. You know what? When I was on that perfect day diet, I felt great. I don't know what's going on now. What's wrong? I don't know. Get a consultation. Maybe you'll figure it out. Let me tell you something. I was on this perfect day diet, and then I let go of it. And now I don't have a perfect day. I'm just so confused. I use a little bit of sarcasm for a reason. If eating the same foods as everyone else because you need to be approved of, you're in trouble. If you want to honor, love, and respect yourself, and rock this life. Okay? And if you really want to help your family and everyone else, then you're going to have to come up against their mocking you. Okay? Let me give you during that whole thing that happened the last 3 years, I would not wear one of those things. Because the majority of the population gets to rule whether they're right or not, they continually terrorized me, but it didn't bother me. I don't need their approval. Now we see people, like I've been here now, and I've seen like about 6 people walk by with those things on. I did not judge them at all. I've seen people during the 3 years that didn't wear those things that ended up in the hospital because other people beat them up so badly. You know, the reality is I'm trying to teach you something. The majority of your family are never going to eat right, think right, drink right. And you're going to go, you don't know, Dr. Wolf. Okay, well, then tell me when I'm wrong. And I've been wrong many times. But understand, I am almost 67. I've been in the business since I was 21 years old. And you know what? You get to see it. Everything is cycles. Everything is patterns. Everything is belief systems. The make up personalities. Like this guy walking by right now. He weighs 320 pounds. And he's limping. And nobody can fix him. The world is left to be crippled. Was I lying? Was that a 320-pound man limping? Okay, so, you know, it's really difficult to find people that are limping emotionally and physically. Not. It's really difficult to find anyone willing to help you. Yes. Because nobody knows how. So, Lene, if you need approval from your boyfriend, from your mother, and everyone else, then you are going to have to stay on these drugs forever. You're going to have to decide whether you matter more than they do. And until you matter more than they do, you will be in pain. How are we doing?
We're doing good.
Okay. All right. Anyways, I'd like to stay longer, but it's 1:45, and I've got a grilled cheese sandwich and a glass of chocolate milk. So thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Bye.